New Orleans, the Big Easy. This city pulses with a rhythm all its own. It is a place where history, music, and food intertwine. From the moment you arrive, you are enveloped in its unique charm. The air is thick with the scent of spices and blooming jasmine. The sounds of jazz drift from open doorways. I was ready to dive headfirst into this vibrant tapestry of experiences. My adventure began in the heart of the city. I was eager to explore its legendary streets. The French Quarter, with its wrought-iron balconies and colourful buildings, promised to be a feast for the eyes. Then there were the stories. Tales of voodoo queens and pirates whispered from every corner. And of course, the food. I couldn't wait to savour the city's culinary delights. From gumbo and jambalaya to beignets and chicory coffee, my taste buds were ready for an adventure of their own. My home for the week was the historic Hotel Monteleone. This grand dame of New Orleans hotels exudes an air of timeless elegance. Stepping into the lobby was like stepping back in time. The opulent chandeliers, marble floors, and antique furnishings whispered tales of a bygone era. I could almost hear the echoes of laughter and clinking glasses from grand balls of the past. My room was a haven of comfort and luxury. It was the perfect place to unwind after a day of exploring. But the true highlight of the hotel was the Carousel Bar. This revolving bar is a New Orleans institution. Sipping on a Sazerac as the room gently spun around me was an experience I won't soon forget. The Carousel Bar was the perfect place to soak in the city's unique ambience. No trip to New Orleans is complete without a visit to Café du Monde. This iconic coffee stand has been serving up its famous beignets and chicory coffee for over 150 years. I arrived early to beat the crowds and secured a coveted table overlooking Jackson Square. The air was filled with the sounds of street performers and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. The beignets arrived hot and fresh, piled high with powdered sugar. They were light, airy, and absolutely delicious. I savoured every bite, the sweetness of the beignets perfectly complementing the slightly bitter chicory coffee. Fueled by sugar and caffeine, I set off to explore the French Quarter. I wandered through the narrow streets, admiring the wrought-iron balconies and colourful buildings. Street performers provided a lively soundtrack to my explorations. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, I decided to delve into one of New Orleans' most intriguing aspects, its mystical side. The New Orleans Historic Voodoo Museum, a small but fascinating establishment, offers a glimpse into the spiritual practices that have shaped the city's culture. Walking through the dimly lit corridors, I was surrounded by altars, talismans, and relics of voodoo history. Each exhibit told a story of resilience, faith, and the blending of African, Caribbean, and French traditions. The air was thick with incense, adding to the museum's otherworldly ambience. I learned about the legendary voodoo queen, Marie Laveau, whose influence still lingers in the city. Her presence felt almost tangible as I stood before her recreated altar, adorned with candles, offerings, and personal petitions. The museum's curator shared tales of her life, dispelling myths and highlighting her role as a healer and spiritual leader. Leaving the museum, I felt a newfound respect for this often misunderstood aspect of New Orleans' heritage. It was a reminder of the city's rich tapestry of cultures and the deep spiritual currents that run through it. With a sense of wonder and reverence, I continued my journey through New Orleans, eager to see what other secrets the city had in store. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more exciting journeys. One evening, I indulged in a true New Orleans dining experience at Commander's Palace. This Garden District institution is renowned for its haute Creole cuisine and impeccable service. From the moment I stepped inside, I was treated like royalty. The dining room was elegant and refined, with crisp white tablecloths and sparkling crystal. Each course was a masterpiece, a symphony of flavors and textures. The service was impeccable, attentive without being intrusive. After dinner, I headed to Preservation Hall for a night of traditional New Orleans jazz. The intimate venue was packed with music lovers. The band played with an infectious energy that had the entire audience clapping and tapping their feet.